Air India has now said that the Shiv Sena Member of Parliament Ravindra Gaikwad will not be able to fly with them unless he apologizes. Now, after India Today reported the criminal behavior of Shiv Sena MP on an Air India flight, the Member of Parliament has now been banned by 6 airlines: Air India, Indigo, Jet Airways, SpiceJet, Vistara and Go Air have collectively decided that Ravindra Gaikwad will not be able to fly on board their aircraft, keeping in mind passenger safety. The trade union of cabin crew members have also written to Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan seeking action against Ravindra Gaikwad of the Shiv Sena. The Member of Parliament remains defiant. He too has written to Lok Sabha Speaker. Now it remains to be seen how this Member of Parliament will fly. He's boasted that he has a flight to Pune at 4 p.m. and he will board that flight. Will he, now that he is on the blacklist?
अरे ब्लैकलिस्ट क्या करेगा? आज तो एयर इंडिया की फ्लाइट से 4 बजे मैं पुणे जा रहा हूँ, मेरे पास टिकट है आज का क्लियर, और उसको तो मुझे ले जाना ही पड़ेगा आज, मैं तो उधर हंगामा करूँगा। और 4 का फ्लाइट का टिकट है मेरा, एयर इंडिया का ही है, दिल्ली पुणे, वो ब्लैकलिस्ट करा है, मेरा टिकट का क्या करेगा? वो माफ़ी मांगने का सवाल ही पैदा नहीं होता। और इसके ऊपर जो वाइट देना है, पार्टी डिसीजन लेगा, पार्टी बात करेगा आपसे, अनिल बाबू देसाई कहीं की माफ़ी, उन्होंने माफ़ी मांगना चाहिए मेरी, जिसने दुर्व्यवहार मुझसे किया, मेरा इंसल्ट किया उन्होंने, और वो भी सीएमडी उसका एयर इंडिया का, और जिसके साथ झगड़ा हुआ वो दोनों आके माफ़ी मांगे मुझे। मैं तो मीडिया में नहीं आया था, उन्होंने ही मैसेज भेजा। क्या गलत है इसमें? वो चिल्लर आदमी एमपी को कुछ भी बोलता है, सुनना, चिल्लर आदमी मोदी को बोलता है, कहो मोदी को कंप्लेन करूँगा। मोदी बोलने का तरीका है, इस देश के प्रधानमंत्री जो है वो नरेंद्र जी, मोदी साहब के पास आपका कंप्लेन करूँगा, ऐसा बोलना नहीं।
And the Chief General Manager, Corporate Communication of Air India, GP Rao, he's reacted and confirmed blacklisting Ravindra Gaikwad, not just on board Air India flights, but all FIA airlines that include several others. Let's quickly listen in to GP Rao. I'll get you more on the story. I want to bring into this conversation Jitendra Bhargav, former Executive Director of Air India, also Shweta Shalini of the BJP. Mr. Bhargav, I want to understand from you first, sir, are the FIA and Air India correct in their stand, keeping in mind passenger safety, banning a Member of Parliament from flying?
Well, they are within their powers, because if a passenger is misbehaving or is likely to create any risk to the safety of a flight, they are empowered to take a decision. The question is the legality. Now, he is holding a ticket for the Delhi-Pune sector today. Now, has the ticket been cancelled? Has he been intimated by giving reasons for it? Otherwise, we are looking forward to an ugly scene at the airport if he turns up there and brandishes a ticket and says, look, I'm holding a ticket, give me a boarding pass. So I'm sure Air India would have taken the logical step in ensuring that he does not reach the airport and he's intimated in advance that his ticket stands cancelled. What is noteworthy is the united stand that has been taken by all the Indian carriers. Now, which is a remarkable thing and reflects a very positive trend in our industry. Had only Air India put him on the no-flyers list, he would have chosen some other carrier. Now, in this case, he can just not fly. Now, this is something that is remarkable and must be applauded, because all airlines have expressed concern, and I must compliment the media, because it is thanks to the media which has been reflecting the public outrage that airlines have taken this stand. I'm now only looking forward to the Shiv Sena Chief Uddhav Thackeray also reacting likewise.
And unfortunately,
you cannot have a Member of Parliament first beating up an employee for no provocation. And Gaurav, just one more point. You see, I heard Mr. Anil Desai on your channel saying that, look, we want to hear his version. There can be no other version. Irrespective of the kind of provocation that he may have had from Air India's side, he cannot be seen behaving in this manner.
Oh, absolutely. And then what is worse, Shweta Shalini, he was bragging about it, continues to remain defiant, says not once, not twice, that he hit that Air India gentleman 25 times. And Shweta Shalini, that's completely unacceptable behavior.
You are a representative. You are a democratic leader.
Yes, Gauravji, this is exactly what I want to add to. It is completely unpardonable, unacceptable, not only from a member of parliament, but a member of legislative assembly, or for anybody who's holding a public office. This is precisely not the way you behave, because one, you represent the public that you are now trying to hit, and second, also because you are supposed to behave in a certain pattern.
Yes.
But I must also add here that typically this was unacceptable, if it could have been any other person apart from being an MP or an MLA.
In fact,
So,
an MP and an
primarily,
MLA are to be
this
kept to
was
higher
not
standards.
the way to behave.
Oh, absolutely. A common man cannot behave like this. Our
I completely
MPs,
agree.
our lawmakers are on a pedestal. And, for a moment, Mr. Bhargav, I also want you to listen into the air hostess, the manner in which she tried to contain the situation. Listen into how she tried, then we'll discuss that. Let's listen into what happened on board that aircraft.
बदतमीज लोग हैं यार
मिल के अंदर ही कौन जाके बोलेगा बुला बुला सर चाहिए से बुलाओ सुमेश
You're a role model, no? हाँ, कैसे कोई सोच सकते हैं? हाँ, पार्लियामेंट कौन सोच सकते हैं सर? कोई नहीं सोच सकता पार्लियामेंट को। और ये छोटे आदमी के मुँह लेके आप अपना
आना क्यों अंदर?
आप जेल में क्यों जाना चाहते हैं? आप फ्लैग देंगे सर, मर्डर केस हो जाएगा ना सर? नहीं सर, बहुत मुश्किल से आए हैं आप इस स्टेज पे, बहुत मुश्किल से आपको ये जगह मिली है ना। यू आर अ रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, यू आर अ डेमोक्रेटिक लीडर, वी हैव इलेक्टेड यू, वी हैव इलेक्टेड यू, ही इज नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग सिली फॉर अ स्टूपिड मैन। वो पागल है, तो आप जैसे बात
जी वो अंदर क्यों आया
हाँ, तो आप ये बोलते ना, यू डोंट गेट आउट, वो उनको नहीं आएंगे, he was not talking the proper.
Mr. Bhargav, what do you make of the air hostess, her attempts to contain the situation, placate the MP, and then ensure that he doesn't physically lift an Air India employee and throw him off the aircraft, which was shocking, the manner in which the Honourable MP, or so-called Honourable MP, was trying to do.
You see, the staff on board, particularly the air hostess who was interacting with the member of parliament, deserves all the praise. Look at the kind of way she was pleading. She was justified in stating, and what she stated was absolutely what every average Indian will speak, whether he's on the flight or on the ground, that this is how a member of parliament ought to be behaving. What is also admirable is the kind of restraint the cabin crew and other Air India employees on the aircraft showed. In the wake of extreme provocation that this member, the way he was behaving, and plus there was pressure on the airport staff to send the other flight, because this member of parliament was squatting on the aircraft, not getting down, leading to delay in the Goa flight that was to be operated with the same aircraft. So Air India employees deserve all the credit for the kind of restraint and the way they were pleading without creating any ugly scene. And to add to it, because I was told about this by the Air India staff,
Yes.
that even after all this, what had happened transpired on the aircraft, when he got down the aircraft finally, they laid out a red carpet for him in a way by giving him a special car to take him to the terminal building. What else could he have expected, even after treating Air India staff in such a rowdy manner?
No, absolutely. He had no business assaulting a 61-year-old employee of Air India in the manner in which he did. But, Shweta ji, can action be taken? The Shiv Sena, of course, we know the relationship between BJP and the Shiv Sena now. But you're still an alliance partner. So what action can be taken against him? What pressure can the BJP mount on the Shiv Sena, if at all? Okay, I'll try and re-establish that line in just a moment, but there is a growing chorus for strict action against Shiv Sena MP Ravindra Gaikwad, especially after his unrepentant statements blaming the victim. There have been complaints that have been made now to the Speaker of Lok Sabha, Sumitra Mahajan, and this complaint has been made by the trade union of cabin crew members. They've also sought an apology. They've sought punitive action against him. Of course, the Speaker so far said that the incident happened outside Parliament. She is yet to receive a copy of the complaint, but will look into the matter. Now, Shiv Sena has also reacted to it, the Minister of State for Civil Aviation. Let's listen into political reactions that are coming in.
ये हवाई जहाज में कुछ हुआ है. It is not in Parliament House anything has happened. Not in this periphery also, Parliament periphery. Nobody has written to me about any not a single complaint is still there with me. कोई किसी ने मेरे पास कंप्लेंट भी नहीं करी है. तो मैं कहाँ सो मुटो, हिंदुस्तान में कई कई चीज़ें होती है, तो ऐसा नहीं होता है. इसलिए मैं कहना चाहूँगी कि मेरे पास कुछ भी नहीं आया है. कुछ आता है, कोई मुझे विशेष रूप से लिख के देगा तो मैं देखूँगी, मगर अदरवाइज मैं ऐसे नहीं कर सकती हूँ.
पहली बात तो ये है कि एक व्यक्ति के साथ एक घटना हुई है और उस घटना का अब जांच हो रहा है, और जो जांच है वो आपको मालूम ही है, उसमें एयर इंडिया ने कंप्लेंट फाइल कर दिया है और आगे पुलिस की भी इस पे कार्रवाई होगी, क्योंकि पुलिस देखेगा कि इस पे एफआईआर दर्ज करना है कि नहीं दर्ज करना है, और फिर आगे जो कार्रवाई होगी सो होगी. तो मैं इस घटना के जो डिटेल्स हैं उसमें नहीं जाना चाहता हूँ. उस पर कानूनी कार्रवाई हो रही है और जो कंसर्न्ड वहाँ अथॉरिटीज़ हैं वो तय करेंगे कि इस पर किस तरीके से अनुकूल क्या कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए.
Shweta Shalini, what pressure can be mounted on the Shiv Sena to ensure that strict action is taken against this member of parliament? Because so far all we hear is, it's a very sarkari response. There will be an inquiry, then we will see what action can be taken.
No, let's understand this, Gauravji, that I'm sure that Shiv Sena considered itself to be a ideologically and morally very high party. So I'm sure that they will, and Uddhavji personally will look into the matter and take strict action against the Member of Parliament. And in fact, we will appeal him to do so, because this will send a very strong message across to the people who have actually entrusted their belief in terms of vote to the Member of Parliament.
Okay.
This is one. Second, I personally also feel and want to add here that Ravindra Gaikwad ji is a very well-educated person. So I'm sure that he understood at that point of time, and he understands that it was important that there is a law of land and there was a legal law that could have been followed. A justified action could have been taken. I'm sure there would have been some wrongdoing, some miscommunication between the Air India employee and the Member of Parliament. But the right way to handle this would have been to take the right course of the law.
And there was no apology. No, there was no apology whatsoever. What is worse, he's bragging. He's bragging. He's saying, I will do it again. You've heard him. He said, not once, not twice, I've done it 25 times. I'm not a BJP corporator, I'm not a BJP leader, I'm a Shiv Sena leader. I will do it again. That is what he said. How is the Shiv Sena reacting to this? Let's listen in.
No, again,
no, let's listen in. Let's listen in. Let's listen in.
That's where our Honorable Chief Minister Ravindra Fadnavis ji, Gaurav ji always says.
और जिस तरह से ये हुआ है उसका कोई समर्थन शिवसेना पार्टी नहीं करती है, और लेकिन इसी मामले में पूरी जांच हो, क्या हो गया, क्या कारण था कि ऐसे उनको बिहेव करना पड़ा. क्योंकि 2014 से जब से वो यहाँ पे है तब से ऐसी कोई खास ऐसी बात नहीं हुई कि उनको उनके बिहेवियर को या उनके वर्तन को लेके कुछ ऐसा बखेड़ा खड़ा हुआ. लेकिन ये शोभा नहीं देता. अगर आपसे कोई ज्यादती भी करे तो आपको आपका बैलेंस संभाल के आपको जहाँ पे लोग हम पर निर्भर है, जहाँ पे हम लेजिस्लेटर है, तो हमको इस मर्यादा को देखना चाहिए. ये तो हर एक आदमी भी जानता है, हर लेजिस्लेटर.
Now, Ravindra Gaikwad, the Shiv Sena Member of Parliament, accused of assaulting a 60-year-old Air India employee, is actually a repeat offender. a fresh video has emerged. This shows the leader intimidating and humiliating a deputy superintendent of police from Osmanabad. Of course, this video dates back to the 21st of March, where he shouts at a senior police officer while speaking to some of his supporters. Now, according to reports, he was miffed as two of his party cadre were absent during election day. But not just this. In 2014, the Shiv Sena leader stands accused of force-feeding a caterer of a community during Ramzan. Now, in the same event, Gaikwad and other MPs stood accused of creating a ruckus over food. He's had more than 10 cases pending against him, which include criminal intimidation, instigating riots, and causing hurt to people.
अर्ध कशाला लागतो त्याला कोणी सांगितलं नाही का मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं एसपीला सांगितलं आज सकाळी सांगितलं कलेक्टरला सांगितलं आणि तक्रार नाही म्हणाले ते पुढे हा क्या म्हणून मान ठेवलं म्हणजे काय बी झालं का 2 नंबर धंदे चालू सगळ्या जिल्ह्यात त्याच्या त्याला पगार द्यायला का तुमचे हा जेवायला राणा देतो काय पगार हे बरोबर नाही ना तुम्ही काल सांगून अजून तेच बोलतो म्हणजे लोकशाही का देशात
Mr. Bhargav, closing comments to you, sir. What lessons are learned from this incident? Lessons that need to be kept in mind for future.
Two things, Gaurav. One is the lesson, as you are asking, is the fact that no VVIP can be allowed to get scot-free if the action is taken to the logical end. The second thing I would like to put in public domain, because a lot of members of parliament are saying that no action can be taken by the speaker, and the speaker also said so because he did not do anything within the precincts of the Lok Sabha. Let me take them back to March, April 2016, when Vijay Mallya his tenure was terminated by the Rajya Sabha Ethics Committee. What happened? He did not do anything within the Rajya Sabha or in Parliament.
Right.
He did not repay the loans, he did not pay service tax, he was defaulting, he had been declared a public offender. Now, there is no reason why a parallel can't be drawn with the powers that was exercised by the Parliament in the case of Vijay Mallya, that it should not be doing it in the case of Ravindra Gaikwad. He deserves to be suspended from Parliament forthwith till he apologizes, and he's refusing to apologize. That's the whole irony of it.
Okay, so he needs to apologize, and that's the point, and one needs to ensure he doesn't do this again. For the moment, Mr. Bhargav and Shweta Shalini, many thanks for joining me on the broadcast.